Football League and NASCAR.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Let's get her done in the desert.
Baby, this is what I live for right here.
Buggity, buggity, buggity. Let's go racing, boys.
Okay, if memory serves, we want to be on the outside during these 3 and 4 and 5 wide starts at this version of Phoenix, which we started using in our 92 season and fell in love with it. And I'm staying with it. I don't care what era, what season we're racing, we're using this Phoenix. My name's Adam. Thanks for checking out the video. Race 4 already. Oh, Mark Martin's under. Oh, Mark Martin's behind us. I didn't even know that. He might be charging to the front. Yeah, we didn't get, oh God, we didn't have the best qualifying effort, but here we go. Well, we're not taking Mark Martin to the front. We're wrecking the kink. Ugh. I didn't know we were 3 wide. That's fine. The old Phoenix layout is still burned in my head, burned in my mind. Come on. We got to figure out what the AI's doing here. I ran 5 or 6 practice laps, but did not practice running with the AI, so.
Stay behind the 07 car.
Yeah, we'll let him go.
Now open.
I'm tempted to pit here, but we won't. All right, nobody pitted. We're going back green. I just saw the wreck. Jeff Burton again. He didn't DNF though, but he is just in a chaos magnet. And he's actually, I saw him go into the pits during the replay, and he's actually pitting right in front of us. So, I don't know. Let's make sure we don't get in trouble with him. I think that was Mayfield cutting down onto pit road there. I was watching one of the races, or when I was editing it, and I called Mayfield Kane somewhere, or the other way around. Like, I'm thinking about changing Mayfield's back of his bumper to green, so we know it's him. But a few hiccups here and there, editing wise. Getting back into the swing of things, but everything's pretty much settling in now. take a look at the points. I'm just recalling what I saw off the top of my mind. I'm not looking at them right now. But I know Ryan Newman has jumped out into the lead. That's what happens when you have 3 top 10s to start the season. And including a win. So that's what he's up to. We're in 19th. Should have had a better finish at Vegas. Like there's just no question. We had the boner on pit road with the splash and go when we took on 4. Pretty much wiped out most of the progress we had made in the race. All right. That was the first time I had to take that turn without a car in front of us, so I had no frame of reference on how we were going to brake. So, lesson learned, let's not do that again. All right, we learned our lesson. Just have to remember to do it every time. But overall, sans all the weirdo wrecks, that Vegas is nice. I like that Vegas a lot. I noticed the AI got a little slow at the end of our fuel window, so I made a note to fix that. But we should be good. As far as the fuel window here, it's about 40 laps. And I've mentioned in the past about how I get editing fatigue and I abandoned the broadcast, and I said I was going to do every other race this season, but so far we've been doing them all. It's because I've pretty much abandoned finding any race audio other than Waltrip kicking off the race for us. I don't spend a lot of time looking for, oh, here's the blimp shot from the Quaker State, blah, blah. I found it for the Daytona 500, but that was it. Because when I basically sat down when I was editing California, our second race, and I was just keeping track of how long everything took, how long, just every stage of the editing process. And I picked up on that finding the sound bites was just a big chunk of it. So I just said, nope, we're done. And same goes for the bug, like the Fox bug that was at the top left for the Daytona 500. We're not using that anymore because anytime there's a yellow flag, I have to change it to yellow. And it's just blah. It's a lot of extra busy work that is not needed when I'm just trying to streamline everything. And I'm also not going to do, I said I was going to do a running order once as a proof of concept, but I started digging in, and it's not worth it. Again, I could do it, and the starting grid sliding across the screen is proof that I can get that done, but it's just too much work. And with Fox, we have the benefit of the music, giving us bumpers in and out of commercial, which is gives it a good Fox feel. I'm already thinking ahead to NBC stuff, and NBC we won't have that, at least from what I've seen in some of the broadcasts. They used a lot of licensed music that we can't use. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But anyway, we've settled in. 24th, not awful. And we got pit stops coming in 18 laps.
Then it's mayhem on the Arrested Development season finale.
Look at us crying like a couple of girls.
You're the only one crying.
All new, followed by a bonus Simpsons and a special encore of Pamela Anderson in the new hit comedy Stacked.
This is your father's new girlfriend. Way to go, Dad!
It all starts at 7, 6 Central, Fox Sunday.
Alright, we're back in it. Skipped a bunch there during the commercial break. Moments ago, we just passed Ricky Rudd with a nice little battle. I noticed during the commercial that we lost, well, didn't lose, just Earnhardt Jr. pitted somewhere, so he's a lap down. Back in dead last. But he's just off the fuel window, so, or he's just off the pit window from everyone else. We'll see if that pans out. And something I totally forgot to mention is, given all the cautions we've seen so far, we do not have a random caution on this race. I figured we're going to get one. The whole point of the random caution was to fix NR2003's issue of just having a bunch of tracks and races that don't have cautions. I can't think of... I just can't think while I'm driving, doing all this now. But there are some tracks that you just would not get a caution. So I fixed that, and that bled into putting one into every race. Pocono was a big example. Pocono, you would rarely see a wreck, and the field would be spread out, which was, you know, great. But I mean, cautions are a part of racing. Case closed. So wanted to simulate actual cautions happening, which led to the guy making the program in the first place and why I use it. But we haven't needed it so far this season, and so we're not using it this race, and then we probably won't get a caution this race now. And so it goes. Not a lot going on from our vantage point. All right, you look at the standings there. Something I mentioned at Vegas was, and I forgot to do it, was going to the actual Vegas race, finding a Vegas race and seeing how long it takes for the lead cars to lap the field. That gives us an idea on whether or not our cars are too tightly matched, too evenly matched, or what. And I forgot to do that. But I have picked up on Ryan Blaney, or Dave Blaney being far and away the worst car in the field once everything gets to racing. We don't want that. He's not that bad. So I got to improve his ratings, no question. And I promise for the next race, which might be Rockingham, I'll have that figured out, because we had a good mix. We had a good feel for lapping cars in our 92 season. So what I might do is just go into the 92 season, find the cars that were running in the back, and just copy their ratings onto some guys here. Like Mike Bliss, for example. He might be our new Bob Schacht, just always running at the back of the pack. That's that. 28-second laps, so he's about to be lapped up there. We should be seeing pit stops in the next 1 or 2 laps. If we don't see pit stops, I'm going to flip out, because then that means I forgot to do something. But we did have the caution. So, well, we have a few more laps, maybe. I've been meaning to check those intervals up to Bobby Labonte, who we're tracking down to see if we're catching him or not. When we pit, we have the yellow commitment line is what we got to hit. And then 2, or B, our pit stall is really weird. We just gained 0.4 on the body. It's because he's racing with somebody. But we also really lost them behind us. So at the very end of this run might need some tweaking. We'll see how much we gained here. What was that, 0.2 maybe? Regardless, pit stops have to be coming. Please, for the love of God, somebody pit. So I know I'm not going insane. There we go. Good job. Past me. Okay. We're going to pit this time. I'm just filling up dead air right now. We're in the middle of nowhere. Leader's pitting now. The eventual leader is pitting now as well. It's me.
Keep it under 45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
That's the best entry we've had all season, Jack.
Watch that speed now. Keep
Let's
it
look
under
for
3,500 in seconds.
bright orange. We're waiting until we're a little bit around this curve. We should see Mark Martin's number. And then we should see 31. Or no, 31.
The leader's pitting now.
Oh, it's the singular logo. Okay. No damage. I think it's the first. we're getting better. I think that's the. Oh, there's an orange car coming. Oh goodness.
Go. Yeah, we nailed
Tony
that
Stewart.
job.
Okay.
Great work, guys. Keep it under 45. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds.
It's unfortunate we have to tiptoe out of there, but
The leader's pitting now.
whatever. But I was saying that's the first pit stop, I think,
Okay, you're clear of pit.
where we haven't had damage, where we didn't hear them banging on the car for a couple of minutes to start the stop. No, I was talking about something else too. I forget. Yeah, just getting better. I mean, we're it's pretty much the same learning curve I've dealt with in the past. Remembering how to brake, remembering the little things. We definitely should not make the same mistake again of, on a splash and go, not ticking our tires off. All right, 49 was ahead of us, but he was on pit road, so he doesn't count. Oh, they just changed it to Bobby Labonte, so we gained 1 or 2 seconds there. We didn't do anything crazy. I mean, something else I do too to keep everything even is I see how the AI pits, how they break and whatnot. Usually they have an advantage over us, but I still like to check because some of these new tracks, or just any track, they do some weird stuff going in and out of pit road. Leader's pitting now, so that was probably Dale Jr. or Mayfield staying out. No, Mark Martin. Yeah, the guy's involved in an earlier wreck. That makes sense. Charlotte is a really good example. The base Charlotte that came with the game, they're really slow exiting pit road when they really shouldn't be, and I try to mimic that. But as we saw at Daytona, it's tough to break with them perfectly. Like, they're doing it mathematically perfect, and we can't. I'm not a robot, and I'm not a professional. Unfortunately.
The leader's pitting now.
I got news for you. I don't want a caution. Now that things have settled down, of course you'd want a caution if you were good and wanted to get sucked back up to the leaders and try to gain some spots. But we aren't good yet, even though I said we've made some quick progress early on in the season as far as the little things. I don't think we're good enough yet. I don't think we have the everything down to battle in a pack at the end of a race. And something I would love. Car's a lap down. Something I would love to do. Now we're in the top 20. Yeah, because we're overtaking these guys that were all staying out. Nice. Something I'd love to do is I mentioned somewhere about how many times and how lucky we've been through 60 some, now almost 70 races on YouTube that we haven't gotten collected in an accident. And this season it feels like we are just every race, I think we've had something happen in front of us. Daytona, nothing comes to mind. But we had Earnhardt Edwards at California. And we had Stuart Johnson at Vegas. And then we had Mark Martin and Jeff Burton here. Early on, when you can kind of get caught off guard by it. Even though our senses were heightened. Because we were running like 12 wide. Rusty Wallace out in the lead.
There's the cross flag. We're halfway home.
And yeah, man, we're going to pass Dave Blaney. I wonder how many times I've called him Ryan. I caught myself this race, but I've probably called him that a couple more times so far. Probably not, because we haven't really had to call out his name too much. But we're obviously going to pass him here. And trying to track down this next group. I don't know, he's making it difficult for the 40th place car that we were jobbing earlier. He's not a pushover. There we go. We got him. Now we got to track down these other guys. 208 at the line. We'll see how we do.
It's the Big Bell Value Menu.
featuring the spicy chicken burrito with shredded chicken simmered in authentic Mexican spices. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
It took us 10 laps, and we're on these guys. I mean, we're still 0.3 back, so we gained 1.7 in 10 laps. That's 1.7 hundredths a lap. But we're still not passing them. And Dave Blaney wasn't a pushover, and he was going backward basically. And now we're not even into the top 15 yet. And yeah, it took a little while to track these guys down, but now it's a whole other thing to pass them. And they did race side by side for 2 or 3 laps. Yeah, probably a lap and a half, which helped us close the gap a little bit. Mike Bliss up there on the outside. The 0 car is going to be a lap down. The net 0 car. I just realized why his number is 0. Anyway.
Clear inside. Car inside. Stay high. Clear inside.
That influx of, government sponsors was so wild. National Guard, U.S. Army, the Air Force was there for a while. I can't remember if there was a Navy car. Someone out there's gonna be mad if whoever drove the Navy car was their favorite guy, but yeah. Yeah. Obviously, National Guard came to prominence with Junior, but Greg Biffle's running National Guard in this season, 2005. And then U.S. Army there on Joe Nemechek, and then Mark Martin drove that car, or drove U.S. Army. And then Eric Almirola, late 2000s, started doing the Air Force. Or maybe that was mid-2000s? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was late 2000s. Wow. I just realized this season, 2005, was 17 years ago. If there's some diehard fans of NASCAR checking out YouTube videos, you might not even have been alive yet. I'm just trying to find things to talk about because we got nothing going on here. For people used to my channel, I would routinely do field snapshots just to get a feel for everything. So far this season, we've had, I'm definitely using them in this race because so far this season we've had so many cautions that we don't get a nice, continuous loop of cars on a still shot on the track because the cars are always bunched up. But here, it feels like everybody's pretty spaced out. I can probably get some good angles. Jason Leffler, 4 laps down. We'll see what happened with him somewhere. So what I'll do there is when I go into replay, I haven't seen what Earnhardt and Leffler have done yet, but watching this video, you'll have seen it in real time. That's when I pan, obviously, I mean, you're not dumb. That's when I pan my view up to the corner and show something else. And unless I put replay, label it replay, it's live. So I'll show that unless it happens during a commercial, in which case I might lie to you. If it's near if it's near where we went to commercial, like if it's 2 laps after we went to commercial, I'll just lie and put it like the lap before we go to commercial, just so it gives a live feel to it, because it would seem dumb to just show a replay of somebody going on the pit road for no reason, you know? Anyway, we're in 18th. And we pitted lap 45. And with, say, the caution didn't affect the AI's pitting strategy, that means we'll be pitting again at lap 90. Either way, the pit stops are coming up, and what I want is to get ahead of Robbie Gordon here in the 7 car before pit stops begin, just so we don't have to worry about him cutting down on the pit road. I know Dick Trickle was involved. There was a wreck in 92 season, our 92 season, where Trickle was involved in a wreck, somebody going onto pit road. They just really tried to dive down in there. We saw Mayfield do that earlier, so we saw that firsthand. That's why I'm cautious. Real good jump out of whatever turn that was. The 2? Was that turn 2? I don't know.
Keep high. Clear. Inside. Keep high. Clear.
Oh, come on.
Still there.
There we go. We got him. Wow, somebody's jumping on us here. Mark Martin out of nowhere. No, I guess that makes sense because he pitted later than us, so he has fresher tires. We should just let him get past us without incident. So pit window here coming up is going to be lap 86 to 90. It's going to be coming. But Mark Martin got hung up with Robbie Gordon back there racing. All right, we're good on 4 tires. And watch these buttholes just take on fuel here, which I don't think you can. Because you see how much of an advantage Mark Martin just had there. And that's with us taking tires. And imagine if we didn't take tires. We'd be able to track some cars down for sure. Casey Kane is next on our hit list. And we're going to be back at Phoenix late in the season. I think the penultimate race, I want to say. It goes Phoenix and Miami, or Phoenix is the last race of that second round of the playoffs. I don't know. I think it's race 29 of 30 is what I'm trying to say. And it would be very important. And what we'd want to do is just getting a feel for the track here. I have a good feeling that if we can start get a better qualifying position, and stay up there, we have a chance to win. And wow, that sounds like breaking news. That's the strategy that you want to do. But I think we can do it. All right, pit stop's got to be coming up. And you see on tires, I'm just trying to do the math in my head. Our fastest lap of the race, 28 flat. And now on old tires, we're at 28. They 4 wide up here. On old tires, we're at 28.7, 28.8. So we'd be losing 0.8 a lap on cars that don't. Like if we stay out and cars pit, we'll be losing 0.8 of a lap on those cars that don't pit. Or that have pitted. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to do too many things at once in my head. Let's cut down here and pit.
Outside. Clear outside. Keep it under 45.
Another good entry. You cannot ask for a better entry there, I don't think.
That speed now. Keep it on 3,500 in second.
I can understand why guys speed on pit road. They're looking for their stall. They're
Leaders pitting now.
They're watching for other cars, and then they're also watching their gauges. So we took on some damage somewhere. I don't know where. Or maybe I'm so used to that sound that we did hear it at that on our first stop, and I just didn't register. Okay, we got a car coming.
Go. Keep it under 45.
Carl
Keep it
Edwards. That
under
happened the first time
3,500
too.
in second. The leader's pitting now.
Mark Martin, I don't know. He's probably going to stay out
You're clear of pit lane.
and try to get a caution. And he'd be in the lead. But he's a computer person. He's not thinking like that. I don't know. Oh, okay. There's how they pit. Not pretty. I was getting angry at the world, thinking that we had lost time and we were back to being behind Dave Blaney.
The leader's
But
pitting now.
we're not. But what we are is back with Bobby Labonte, which makes me think they might be just taking on 2 tires, these worms. We'll see how we shake out and then look at the replay. I guarantee you they might just be taking on 2 tires, and we're going to get jobbed again.
Car outside.
Should have checked.
Clear.
Should have checked.
Stay low. Clear.
We can squill the tires a bunch here because we're not worried about our tires.
Pitting now.
Yeah. These are cars we passed a while ago.
Inside.
Gordon, Nemechek.
Still there.
I don't remember Michael Waltrip.
Clear. Car inside. Stay high.
Tell you what,
Stay high.
we'll be money in the bank if there's a restart. If we get a caution.
Top 20. Good job.
We need a caution. Where were we? 16th, 15th? We can at least probably get back to there by the time this race ends. But we're going to look at pit stops here. Let's see what they're doing. Gordon 2 tires. Stewart 2 tires. Kyle Busch 2 tires. Yeah, so that was their strategy. Oh well. It's another. I was talking us up earlier, saying we're learning, but we got to keep everything else in mind still. Little things like that. We're still early in the season.
Leaders pitting now.
But pretty soon we won't be able to say that anymore and comfort ourselves as we start losing a grip on the points race. Oh, there's Scott Riggs. Scott Riggs has been running top 10 all race, I think. Whenever I decide to go to commercial, right after in the race I go to commercial, I pause the game, look at the top 10, write them down so I can put them into the graphics. And I noticed Scott Riggs was in the top 10 both times we went to commercial.
Clear outside.
Wonder how many positions we gained through there. Oh no, this might have been a big brain play, but also, think about it. We probably have 3 or 4 more spots to gain. Junior. That's probably, no, yeah, Junior. Jamie McMurray maybe. Mark Martin has pitted, so we've already gained that spot. We just passed him, actually. Greg Beffel out in the lead. Might be getting his first win. No big surprises up there. And you see, okay, this is the first race that I have Y and U Bush in the standings there. I finally synced it up across everything I was doing. So we're in good shape.
Car outside. Clear outside.
Can we track down that big group of cars up there with 8 laps to go? I don't know.
Car inside.
It's not like they didn't take on any tires at all.
Still there. Keep high. Clear inside.
You know what I'm saying? So, looks like my prophecy is going to come to fruition here. That, look out, that we're not going to get a caution this race. When I turned off random cautions, whatever, is what it is. It was an executive decision I made in the moment. Not detrimental to anything, it's just you want cautions. Tell you what, we have a chance to get up here and battle for a little bit. I ran a 27.86 somewhere, 8:06. These guys have to both be for position, Harvick and Vickers, yeah. The buttheads didn't take on tires.
Just 5 more to go.
Okay, let's not do anything stupid. I know I say this out loud every time we
Stay high.
get to near the end of a race, but I say it just to remind myself, like,
Keep high.
don't be stupid.
Clear inside. Car inside. Clear inside.
Like, do we have to dive in on Vickers here? No. If that's for the win in the championship, we go for it. But it's not worth it.
Clear.
Are we going to get our first? We're going to get our first top 10 of the season, I think. So I was originally mad and frustrated that we didn't know to just take on 2 tires, but sometimes you just luck into stuff. We lucked into this for sure, no question. Hey, it's fun to actually run with the leaders, quote unquote. And then here we go, 3 wide. We gotta pick a door to go through. Okay, we are in the top 10. So what we want to do is stay there. We're not going to win the race. And we're just going to... I think we can go to the outside here and get Stewart. Kyle Busch did not want to play. If Stewart wasn't there, we could have probably got past Busch. Okay. I haven't seen any of the leaders who did what. But Greg Biffle did get the win. We saw that with about 10 laps to go, and just the way this Phoenix is, even any Phoenix, I mean, it takes a lot to get around guys, as we saw during the race. So Greg Biffle gets the win. Kyle Busch, he either DNFs or gets the top 10. Same thing with Tony Stewart. Ryan Newman, top 10. He's going to stay in the points lead. Mark Martin finished 16th after that wreck. Pretty wild. Riggs dropped to 19th. Boris Said finished 23rd. Good for him. Jamie McMurray was involved in something, right? I think he was involved in that. Well, I saw his car banged up. I can't remember if he was involved with that early stuff with Burton. But, and then Jeff Burton finished 33rd. And then Junior finished 36th. And then Mayfield, Blaney was just defeated. Just methodically defeated. Same thing with Mike Bliss, probably. And Jason Leffler, I still don't know what happened to him. He ended up 8 laps down. So I'm not sure what happened with him. But all right, that's it. Pretty sure, 99% sure we're going to Rockingham next. And we're done with the West Coast swing. All right, thanks for watching.